Everyone, thank you, but you can do physiology. More today is day 5 of Train to Push Harder, phase 2. So, I went over many things between last week and this week, and I want to actually discuss now is to vary your training. Another way to really push yourself, to train yourself to push harder, is to vary your training. So, that is going to obviously avoid burnout, because when you get burnt out, you're not going to be as willing or maybe as have the ability to push yourself as hard as you need to push yourself. So, especially if you've been doing a lot of the same things lately, change it up a bit, okay? So, even if you have been running and you still want to continue to run because they say your goal is to get to a certain distance, or your goal is to, just shatter your record on your best time, okay? That is fine, but just basically change the way you do it. So if you're used to doing a lot of steady state running, where you go about the same pace, whatever the snap, okay, vary it up. Do some heart rate training. So, go out, like you're going to, jog or whatever, a longer distance, and go for about, 5 to 6 minutes, warm up, and then just push yourself. Boom. Just take off. And go for like maybe a couple minutes or whatnot, and then take maybe a 1.5, 2, 3 minute rest. Rest meaning don't stop running, but just a slower jog, and keep doing that, and then also, and this is the way that I actually do it, also at the very end, when you're going to do your last, when you have to do your last set of those, take like a 3-minute rest, and then say you have maybe an extra mile or 2 left to go, or you want to go for that extra 1 or 2 miles, push yourself, okay? Take that last 2 to 3 minute recovery, and after that, push yourself to the end, because not only is that going to help you get better, that is also going to vary it just a little bit, and it's going to confuse your mind, confuse your body, and muscle confusion is extremely important. I'll tell you how important it is, because when I first started, getting more into my training, so long story short, my senior year in high school, which was way back in 2001, I actually completely tortured myself, in a good way, wouldn't necessarily to a point. I literally was training 7 days a week. I was running 7 days a week. I was doing push-ups, sit-ups, abdominal training 7 days a week. The main reason I was doing that, though, is because I was training for the boot camp, because I joined the National Guard and I was getting ready to go to boot camp, okay? But I noticed I got, pretty burnt out with that, and then, when after boot camp, which, given, I did a lot in there, and long story short, I actually lost weight in there because I was doing extra training like push-ups and running on top of what we were already doing, which was not a good idea because it was already hard to burn calories. And yes, I'm getting to a point, okay? So then when I got out, I said, I'm going to take some time off. I'm going to rest a little bit. I was so damn burnt out, and my body was craving the calories so much, I blew up to 143 pounds of, yes, I had a gut, I had almost no muscle tone and everything, and so I can actually say there was one point in my life where I was actually, per se, chubby or overweight and whatnot, and it was very hard to get back into it. And because I burnt myself out, and now I'm not going to sit here and say that when I got back into it, I was consistent ever since then. There was a multitude of different times, which is why I'm going to tell you today, avoid burnout, vary your training. And now I've been consistent for the last 15 years, and the reason that I've been able to be so consistent is because I vary my training. I literally can say this proudly and honestly. I literally do not ever, and I say I never do the exact same training. I might do some of the same things, but I'm never doing the exact same training. You can change it up a bit. For instance, this morning, what I've been doing mainly lately, just to change it up for a while, is I was actually going for, do a mile on exercise bike to warm up, then go for a run, then come back, go for a bike ride, usually most of the time, or I would just go for a longer run, come back, go for that bike ride or whatever, I come back, then I would do some leg training and or speed and abdominal training, where I was previously, I was doing it the way that I did this morning. I had been doing it that way for quite a good period of time. But this morning, I changed it up again, and what I did instead is I actually did over an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes of doing some kicks with my 7.5 pounds on my ankles, and I did also work some weights of that, body weight exercises, well, mainly just weights like lunges, reverse lunges, things like that. Obviously, like I said, some kicks, some variations of angled squats like this. And then I actually went for a run for about, I think it was like 6.6 miles, ran really hard, came back. Oh, I also did another mile on my exercise bike to warm up before that. Then I came back, then I did a mile on my exercise bike hard for speed training. Then I actually did some jumping skills to help increase my agility and overall speed, and some abdominal training. Why am I explaining this to you? Because I'm telling you, vary it, change it up. And the fact that I just changed it up along with actually trying out my new toe shoes for running, which I'm not wearing right now, but I was excited. I got excited because I was doing it a little different, and that is going to avoid burnout. And I'm telling you, that is how I've been consistent for the last 15 years, because I do different things, and I do not ever do the same exact thing. Now, it's not to say you can't do some of the same things for maybe a week or two at a time, but don't consistently do the same thing week after week after week after week after week, because you will get burnout. So there's today's lesson: avoid burnout, vary your training, and then stay consistent, and this will allow you to stay consistent. We gotta stay motivated, believe in yourself, believe you can do it, and believe that you deserve it. Let's get out there, let's go, smash the punch, kick that like button, just don't break it. Let's get out there and do something. Do more than what you did yesterday, get your ass up today. Push yourself, let's go.